Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I He's alive!
Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Let's get weird.
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode is actually with my children, both my son and my daughter, the two eldest. Obviously, the baby can't fucking talk right now. But yeah, Brayden and Kendall come on in this episode. We talk about, my parenting, some encounters they think they have had. Um, it was a good conversation. I get a little emotional here and there. I don't think it comes out through the microphone or anything. So, um, but I love my kids, man. My kids mean the world to me, all three of them. And any time, any chance that I get to actually have like an in-depth conversation with them, I will do it. Um, I'm very proud of who they are and who they've become. So I think this episode um, has done something for me. Uh, and I've been saying this since the beginning. I do the show for me. It's not necessarily to gain a listener or viewership. It's to have conversations that I want to have, and that's what this is. So if it's not something that you care to listen to about, you know, me talking to my children about how I raised them and stuff like that, by all means you can skip this episode. I don't expect anybody to listen to any of the episodes, to be honest with you. But for those that do, obviously, I'm grateful that you do. It's it means the world to me just because I never expected the amount, the numbers of people. So, um, yeah. So my kids were gracious enough to come and talk about some of their experiences they've had. Um, And they open up a bit. My son talks about God. He's recently becoming religious, he thinks. So, we discuss how he got into that and stuff like that. So, it was it was a fantastic conversation, honestly. Um, it's cool that I got to record it so that I have it for future references because I don't always obviously I don't record every actually I don't record any of our conversations. I just want my kids to be better than me, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point of parenting. When you want to teach them lessons that you've learned so that they don't make the same mistakes. Um, so yeah, I'm super proud of them. So shout out to the sponsor, Flavors of the Forest, uh, raw garlic dust, Bigfoot's breath, bro. You gotta try it. If you haven't tried it, you are slacking, bro. So get yourself some, head on over to flavorsforest.com/weird. You can get a plethora of bottles. You can get one if you want. That's totally fine. But I'd prefer you get 100 because you are not gonna want to go to the store and get garlic powder ever again if you try this shit. Once you try this shit, you're gonna be like, this is the garlic dust for me." It comes straight out of Oregon. Nelson and Matt, fantastic people, love them to death. Um, it's a pleasure to peddle their stuff. So yeah, and check them out. At least try it. That's all I ask. Just try it. I mean, you won't be disappointed. You're gonna want it all the time on everything. I put it on everything. So um, yeah. Again, that's flavorsforest.com/weird. You can follow them on Instagram at flavorsforest. So it's good shit. I highly recommend it. So, upcoming event, and it's Cryptid Halloween 3. Dave from the Snarly Owl is actually putting it on. He's a super nice guy. Um, I'm actually speaking and vending, so I will have hot sauce. I'll actually probably bring some of the garlic with me. So, if you're in the area of Ranson, West Virginia, definitely come on down. It's at the Ranson Civic Center. I believe it's 9 or 10 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m., one or the other. So probably have an after party, get some drinks and shit, get some din din. Both me and Brayden will be there. I'll be speaking. Shane from Inquiries of Our Reality and Oren and Jenny are gonna be there. Um, yeah, should be a good time. There should be actually quite a few people that I know that are going there, I think. Um, but yeah. So if you're in the area of Ranson, West Virginia, come on down, get some fucking hot sauce because I'm gonna have plenty. I'm gonna have t-shirts, I have stickers, you know, I'm gonna speak. And you get to watch me speak, even though you're probably either listening to me on Spotify or YouTube. What you're already watching me speak. I'm talking right now, literally to your face on the camera. But yeah, no, I believe it's a free event as well, so you don't have to pay to get in or anything. You just if you there's a shit ton of vendors, there's gonna be a lot of cool shit there, I'll tell you that. So, um, but yeah. So if you like today's episode, you like any of the shit that I do, I'd greatly appreciate it if you liked, followed, shared, and subscribed. That's a good way to help the show grow, but if you don't do any of that shit, it's totally fine. I'm not gonna hold it against you. I'm not gonna obviously, I don't even know if you're listening or not, so, there's no you that I can put you to, if that makes any sense to you. Um, yeah, if you feel froggy enough, a rating and review, would mean the world to me as well. If your podcatcher doesn't allow a review and you wanna leave one, you can head on over to the website where the weird ones are podcast.com. That's where you can get the merch. That's where you can get the hot sauce. That's where you can get the coffee. And that is where you're going to be able to get the supplements, well, however the fuck you say it, um, on the store, on there, in there. Blah. So yeah, it's, it's fun. Dude, this shit is fun. I'll tell you that. These conversations, man, I love having them. And the fact that I got to be able to have one of these kinds of conversations and record it with my kids it means the world to me. I'm going to keep this episode for the rest of my life. My son is 15. He'll be 16 soon in November. My daughter's 13, going on 30. She thinks she knows everything, but she don't. She don't be knowing shit, to be honest with you, because she's just a child. Um, but yeah, so if you're interested as well, if you want to take the support a little bit further, The Patreon is $5 a month. You get story time and a free coffee mug. So I haven't put out a new storytime episode lately just because I've been so busy, but I will get back on that. I do have a couple stories that I have laid out that I can do probably a handful of episodes now. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Check out Alicia and Sierra over at Twisted and Uncorked, an amazing podcast. I highly recommend their podcast as well. They actually are the podcast of the month that's featured on the website. So, um, Alicia is actually, she made all of the logos and stuff like that for the coffee for my coffee company that I started, and she made the murder juice label, and she made the merch of the ghost girl that's featured the um on the murder juice bottle. So now it's on a t-shirt. And ladies, if you're into crop tops, there are crop tops in the store. You can check that out as well. Um, but if anybody gets any merch, I'd appreciate it if you sent me a picture. That way I can feature you on the website in the gallery and I can, make a post on whether Facebook or um Instagram and be like, "Hey, look, this person got a shirt." But if you don't, you don't, it's totally fine. So, I think that's like pretty much covers it all. Also, the donation page is on the website for the filming, which I'm really I gotta send some emails out so I can hopefully get filming started within the next couple of weeks. I would like to start before the end of October, so but we'll see what happens. I gotta contact some people. So anywho, let's get into the conversation, shall we, with Brayden and Kendall.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Weird. Get weird.
What's up, my fellow weirdos? This is Jen and Mondo from 305 Paranormal.
And you're listening to Kevin from Where the Weird Ones Are. If you like what you hear, like, comment, sub, and share to hear more. Peace.
Hello, welcome back to this podcast. This a fortnight, anyways. I'm Brayden. That's my dad. That's Kendall, and this is Where the Weird Ones Are.
So, we decided to do a podcast on here to talk about some occurrences that the kids have experienced. Some of these stories I'm gonna be hearing for the first time. So, anyways, Brayden, why don't you tell the people where they can find your Raptor Rex channel and stuff like that?
So, I have a YouTube channel called Raptor Rex. It's Raptor with Rex spelled WRECKS. No spaces. It's a gaming channel, clips, a bunch of stuff like that. I also have a TikTok for it. Yes. I also have a VR channel I started. It's Boogie Mouse. BOOGIE Mouse.
Kendall, are you, how are you feeling today? What are you doing? What's on your mind? Actually, let me just ask you, did you have a good day today?
Yes, I did. I had a good day.
I don't know if I can play this shut your mic off game because I just tried to turn my mic on 3 times. It didn't do anything. Um, but yeah, so Kendall, I'll ask you the first question. What has it been like being my daughter? You gotta hold it.
I'm holding it. Um, it's been pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Like, we do pretty fun things, like going on vacations and stuff. Pretty fun.
That's it?
Yeah.
So we do fun things, we go on vacations. That's what my parenting is to you.
But, like, mm,
Are you nervous?
but also, like the way, like, yeah, like when I'm at my friend's house and like the way their parents parent, I'm like glad that you're my parent because like I would not be able to handle it if they were my parent because like they get their phones taken away like every single week for no reason and it's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, it's good to stay off your phone sometimes. Sometimes you need a couple days of no phone, you know? And I would prefer you not be on your I would prefer myself not to be on my phone as much as I am. Um, a lot of it lately has been because of the podcast stuff, creating stuff on my phone, playing with videos, playing with um, the website and the merch store and stuff like that. So I'm, I'm on my phone a lot more than I want to be. So I definitely could probably rein that in a little bit more for you guys because sometimes I feel like I'm paying attention to my phone too much when either one of you are talking to me and I'm not paying attention. So that's something I need to work on. Actually, Brayden's called me out on that before, uh, being on my phone. So if you need to talk, just turn your mic.
Alright, so before when you're on your phone and like you don't talk to me and I'm trying to talk to you, I think one or twice I go, alright, nice conversation, and I walk away.
Also like um sometimes when like I ask you things you start to say it and then don't finish it. Like today when we were apple picking, and I asked you if we were gonna go to like if we were going to Dick's Sporting Good today or tomorrow. You were like, and you were going like that for like a minute and then just never answered.
A lot of this is due to the ADHD in my brain. My brain is always thinking of like 100 different things at the same time. So I probably started thinking about something else in the middle of me saying, So what I meant to say was probably tomorrow, but we'll see. Obviously, at this point, it's gonna be tomorrow because it's it's 8, almost 9 o'clock right now. There's no way we're gonna make it to Dick's Sporting Goods at this time of night. So, but I did. So on the show, I talk about mental health a lot, right? You guys know. Brayden knows. Brayden listens to the show. Um, so in knowing, especially where you listen to the show, Brayden, in knowing the conversations that I have with people about mental health and stuff, what do you, in the stories that I tell about my life, about my childhood, what do you think? Um, does that change your, like, talking about, hearing about stuff that I went through as a child and stuff like that? Does that change your perspective on who I am to you, like before you knew all of those things?
Actually, not at all. Actually, well, no, yeah, yeah, no, just no.
I like how you guys answer with the same word 5 times. Like, no, 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 no,
I
no.
got.
Actually, no.
I'll use a different word this time. Restart, refresh, completely not at all.
Interesting. You want to know what? You know, it's funny. Turn your microphone on real quick.
Yes.
Not you, Kendall.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think.
Oh,
Oh,
so
so
what's
what's? Go ahead, shut it off. So what's interesting right now is that my microphone is not picking up Brayden. Kendall, go ahead and talk. No, without your microphone on. Yeah, see, my microphone doesn't pick you guys up. So maybe well, if Brayden had his, course, he has the same exact microphone, so maybe I should buy one more. So when we do straight from the couch and we're down here, um, we all have the same microphone. That way we're not picking each other up because that microphone is amazing. I love that microphone, but I got this one. So this is the first episode that I'm doing with this microphone.
It's a really
So
good microphone. I use it. Well, actually, I used it for one of my videos, and my quality on it is
I'm at,
fresh.
actually I think that I am picking you up now.
Yeah.
Did did you hear yourself in your headphones? Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it's not as it's not. So Kendall, I'll ask you the same question that I had just asked Brayden. In knowing the things that I went through as a child before, does that change your perspective of me, of what you thought of me before you found out or knew anything about what I went through as a kid?
well, I don't listen to your podcast, and I just really listen to like, what you tell Allie and stuff. So I don't really know a lot, but but I don't think it changes my perspective of you either.
All right. So there's another thing that I wanted before we get into stories and stuff. I also wanted to. We had this conversation, I think, like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I don't know. It was a little while ago, maybe a month ago or so. But it was recent, but it was a while ago. So, your mother and I has had conversations about you guys listening and stuff like that. You remember this conversation where um I told her that I was gonna make you guys do chores or something like that, and she was like, "Oh, good luck. They don't listen to me." I was like, "They usually do. I mean, because you guys usually do what I tell you, like the minute I tell you.
I got an
Sometimes,
answer for that.
yeah. So Brayden sometimes he's a lot like me. I think I've never gotten you tested for ADHD. I don't think I really need to because I'm definitely don't want you on drugs. Um, the Ritalin or any of that. See, I don't want you to be a zombie, but I think your mind works kind of the same as mine,
I've been
where
told I have ADHD. Like my coworkers, I'd be doing something and I'd end up on like the other side of the of Duncan's. Like I'd be at Donut Case, and then I'd end up in the back somehow, and then I overheard someone saying I might have ADHD or something like that.
I mean, I think you do. So, um, it's really hard to learn. Like you have to learn things differently in a way. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like you have to be doing the thing that you're learning in order to learn it. You can't be told how to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like hands on. I guess that's
Actually,
hands on.
I was in math class, and when the teacher speaks, it all goes like in one ear, out the other. Then she gave us a paper, and I learned it, but that was after a test she gave, so I failed that test.
Yeah, so anyways, so sometimes you do the same thing that I do to you is when I'm talking to you, you're not paying attention. You know what I mean? Because your brain's on something else. Your brain's thinking about something else. So, and then I have to tell you 2 or 3 times, and then you're like, "Oh, well, you want me to do that right now?" I'm like, "Well, I wouldn't be telling you to do it right now if I didn't want you to do it right now." So, anyways, their mother and I had a conversation about them listening. She can't ever get them to listen to her, to do stuff, to do chores or anything like that. But when they're at my house, they do like today. Today is a good example of that. We worked on the chicken coop. The kids cleaned the chicken coop out completely out. Now the chicken coop's huge. Okay. Our chicken coop is a shed, and it's a big area, and they have to sweep out all the wood chips. We have to remove the wood chips to the side, because I use that for the composting and growing the my my garden my gardens and stuff. Which actually, another thing that I meant to do was plant the apple tree today with you guys, and I forgot to do that because I need to put that in the ground before it gets cold. Um, but anyways, so yeah, so they had to sweep it out, clean it out. We had to put a new roof on their run, which was just this plastic sheathing. So we built inside their corral because they kept getting out. There was like a couple of them would get out, and they would fuck up my gardens and shit like that. But so yeah, they kept wanting to stop and like do other things. Like Brayden just randomly started digging a random hole on the fucking side of the coop. So like right there,
I
that's
would
it.
I would also come back fully soaked in water.
Yeah, he did come back fully soaked in water. Um, but yeah, so they wanted to take a break. They would come to me and be like, "Are we done? Is there something else?" and stuff like that. From conversations with their mother, they don't do that. They either don't listen or they just I don't really know. Like she just says that they don't listen. I don't know exactly what goes on, but so we had this conversation about why that was. So uh, I know you have answers for it, but I will let Kendall answer. Why is it easier for you to follow instructions from me than it is for you to follow instructions from your mother?
Because you scare me. So like with 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 our mom, like and she says something and like I tell her like she like she like says to do the dishes or something, and I'll go like, okay, and then I don't do them, and then she comes to me again and is like, do the dishes, and then I say okay, and then it's like the last minute and whatever, but then like I don't do the dishes. Sometimes I do, but sometimes, like most of the times I do, I think, but sometimes I don't. But like with you, you just are a little more scarier than her, and like when she's more, I don't know how to say it, but like um soft or something. Like if I ask for, I don't know what that means, but like soft. So like she says yes a lot, but with you, like you're just like, I don't know. You just scare me sometimes. So like I just do whatever you say. Yeah.
Freaking mic will turn on. Um, the thing, the problem that I have with that is that I don't want you to be afraid of me. I want you to respect me. You know what I mean? Like I want you to respect what I say. Um, and what I'm trying to instill into you is a work ethic. I didn't have a lot of structure growing up, so I want you to have that. Um, and because I grew up being afraid of Grammy all the time, and I ended up acting out more than anything.
Well, I'm not like scared of you. Like I'm scared to like ask you everything. I just mean like when you tell me to do something and if I don't do it, then like the way your voice is and like when you, yeah, and you get mad pretty easily. So, yeah.
I get mad easily. I raise my voice a little bit because I feel like you guys don't. Um, I feel like you need more, like when my voice is elevated, you tend to fall in line a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Um, I try not not to be angry. So if I come off that way a lot, I apologize. But when I raise my voice, it's more of getting your attention more. You know what I'm saying? It's not like out of anger most of the time. It's more like you need to like just more of like an urgency, I guess, in a way, like more of an authoritarian, which um, I just like I said, I just want to instill like a work ethic, and I want to you guys to know that, it's not just sunshine and rainbows. Let's do whatever the fuck we want, and you know, let's play video games and um play make TikTok videos and talk to our girlfriends about our lip gloss and our nails and shit, you know. There's things that you have to do. I mean, there's things that I got to do that I don't want to do. Like putting the new roof on the chicken coop today. I don't want to do that. I would have rather to sit on the couch. I had to go to work today. I didn't want to fucking do that. I wanted to sleep in a little bit and wake up with you guys and be home with you guys when you got up and stuff like that, which a lot of times on Saturdays, it I, I'm already awake when you guys wake up anyway, and when I go to work on Saturdays, sometimes I'm home before you guys wake up, and it's only because I only work like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and the listeners might know by now that I work extremely early. So I go to work at 3 a.m. So like today, I was done at 8 o'clock. So I was home around 9, and I walked into Kendall sitting on the couch, and Brayden was in bed still. So which Brayden's 15. He's gonna be 16 in November. And when I was that age, man, I could sleep until noontime, wake up and eat breakfast at noon, and then go out, do a bunch of stuff for a couple hours with friends, and then be back to play video games until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I would sleep again until almost noon o'clock. But yeah, I don't want you like for me, it's more of a respect thing that you guys listen. It's I don't want you guys to be lazy pieces of shit. Basically, is what I don't want. I want you guys to have some kind of fire under your ass to do something for yourself, for each other, and when you're adults, maybe for the community at some point. Um, so yeah. So when I elevate my voice, it's not always out of anger. It's more of, you know, you need to listen, you know? So, so Brayden, same question. Why do you think it is that you tend to take direction from me more than your mother?
So before, like a year or two ago, it was because I was more scared of you. But now it's mainly because I'm afraid of the punishment of if I don't do it, you know? Because I feel like there's going to be more of a punishment with you if I don't do something than with Mama. Because with Kendall, I'm shaking. Alright, so with Mama, Kendall didn't do her chores, and, Mama said, alright, I'm taking your phone for a day. And then she gave her phone like an hour
It was only
later.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not worried about that punishment. And then, like, when I get punished, it's, like, taken away, like, not going outside. But by that time, like, I'm playing video games or, like, taking away video games, I'll be outside. So, Mama gives me the punishment of the opposite of what I'm doing. So, like, there's times where, like, I switch between video games 24/7 and, like, playing outside, skateboarding 24/7. When I'm skateboarding and, like, outside 24/7, Mama takes away my games, which I don't play. And when I'm playing games, Mama takes away not going outside, so I can't go outside. You know? But with you, I feel like if I were to, like, not do something, I feel like the punishment would be, like, sit upstairs in your room, no games, for, like, an hour or two. I don't know why. I feel like it's just stricter punishment, but it's just my thinking.
You guys don't think that I would ever put my hands on you or anything like that, do you?
No,
It would
no.
just be like playful, like when we're walking around the house, right? It'd just be like a fun punch, you know, like when you're with your friends and you like hit them, you know, kind of like that. It wouldn't be like a punch when
Like if we don't do something and you're like,
yeah, that wouldn't happen. That would you only like punch like playful punches, like yeah, not like WWE, you're in trouble punches.
also with Mama, same with like what Brayden was saying, like when I don't do something, she just tells me I can't hang out with friends because that's literally like what I do all the time. So like it's nothing about like electronics. She just like if I have plans with somebody the next day and I don't do something, she's just like, if you don't do this, then you can't like go to those plans tomorrow or something. Yeah.
Also, Mama takes it a lot lighter on me than she does with Kendall. Like Kendall has to clean the guinea pig cage, kitty litter. She has to do dishwasher, but she just cleans the kitchen. And me, I'm stuck with like cleaning the living room and taking out Pepper. And I don't even clean the living room and I don't get in trouble. So like, yeah.
But you
I
also have to work.
yeah, I do that too. So, but I can still clean the living room. I just don't, and I don't get in trouble.
He he to be fair, he only works like 3 hours.
4 hours a week.
4 hours? Yeah, he only works 4 hours a week right now. But he doesn't work weekends because he's with me, which is another thing that I wanted to say to you is don't ever let a job take away family time, okay? When you tell them that that you have a certain schedule, especially now where you're a teenager, and then they change that on you, like so Brayden's job knows that he's with me on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. I pick him up Friday night. I drop him off Sunday night. In the summer, it's different. It's every other week, so it's more time. Um, I'll tell you this right now: it eats me up that I don't get to see you guys every day. I'd rather to be able to see you guys every day, but obviously can't do that. Or well, I could do that technically if I live next door.
That would be pretty cool if you lived next door. It could be like every other night at like Mama's in your house. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Um, shit, now I forget what was I saying? Yeah. So like don't ever let a job make you feel like you have to be there when you want to spend like not that like you maybe you wanted to go to work tomorrow or whatever. Um which would have been totally fine at the same time, but I only get 2 days a week with you. So I personally would prefer, and we also have plans, you know. So, I know you're getting older and it's going to be hard for me to allow and let go, which is something that I need to work on. But I think it's very important because I let a job take a lot of time away from you when you were growing up. And Kendall when I was doing tree work and we would go out on like storm or if they needed somebody to come in for a couple hours on a weekend, I would do it and stuff like that. Um, and there would be I would miss time out with you. And now you guys are almost adults. You're 2 years from being an adult and being able to go out on your own and doing whatever the fuck you want. Um, and so the kids and I were so I plugged in an old computer because I'm trying to do the production company and I need to verify um get the SIM cards and stuff for the format the SIM cards for the camera so I can start filming. And I plugged in this PC that I had and we were just all sitting here watching old videos and looking at pictures from when they were little, like when they were first born, Kendall and Brayden. So even my niece and nephew are on there. Some old pictures of me when I was a kid are on the computer. So it goes by really fucking fast. Time flies,
But
and
now you also have a little baby now. Yeah.
yeah,
Just saying. Um.
yeah. Well, I mean, I know, but like, I've I just I wish I was the person that I am now for you guys when you were growing up. when you, I mean, not, you're not done growing up, obviously, but I wish I was who I am right now when you guys were born. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like you guys, don't get me wrong, you guys turned out fantastic. You're both fantastic human beings. And I love you to death, and I will do anything for you. No, at a drop of a hat. You know what I mean? And I think you guys, I mean, you turned out great, but there's just things that I look back on that I wish I didn't do or that I did do for you guys. Like one of the main things is we never did anything. We never went anywhere. We never experienced anything. We stayed in town all the time. And
It
when
was
I
fun
was
though. It was fun.
right, like I also allowed a relationship to come in between us as well, which eats me up right to this day. Even though that relationship ended a couple years ago, um, you know, so, um, but yeah. So going back to the core of the conversation, I don't want you guys to fear me. I want respect, and respect is earned. I will say, I will say, if you are, when I ground you, every time I've ever grounded you, it's been sent to your room with nothing. And I haven't had to ground you in years.
I think that the last time I was grounded was probably when you were the when you were with Brie. I think that was like the last time I was ever grounded.
And Mama has talked to me when she has needed to ground you about what I think the consequences should be, and I've told her what I think. Like the incident you had at school with plagiarizing, you cheating on a test. You know, I that for me, cheating on a test was a week of nothing, and that's what I told her. For you, the plagiarizing, I told her honestly, I didn't think you needed to be punished for it. I thought that you needed to be taught.
Yeah, I didn't like know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I was like, yeah. And I did it a couple times and I didn't even realize.
Oh, yeah, that's understandable. I think I did it when I was in school too. Not really. Like they say, do it in your own words, but like I have all the answers right here in this text. I just copy and paste.
So when I try not to plagiarize, I change one word, so it's technically not plagiarism, but like it makes it easier for me. Like if it's like something with like a raptor can run like 30 miles, I do. A group of raptors can run 30 miles, something like that. I don't know.
Also, like
So
last year, honestly, I think seventh grade was probably like one of the hardest years of school. And like last year, I was like whenever we had homework, I was like copying off of like my friends' works because I like anytime the teachers would be teaching, it just wasn't interesting or anything. So I would like I don't know. But this year, like the way that the teachers teach is I don't know, but it actually seems interesting. So now, like, I'm the friend that people copy off of, and I'm very proud.
The listeners, a couple episodes back now about your science teacher. So, um, I mean, I was talking to the guest, but everybody that listens to the show had listened to. I can't remember what guest it was now at this point, but if you don't mind, telling the listeners about what your science teacher thinks about a creature that is 100% real in the not only the woods of Maine, but New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, the Pacific Northwest, Alaska, Canada.
She thinks that mooses or whatever, aren't real. Thinks they're like made up. Cause she's like, nobody's ever seen a moose, so they're fake.
I've seen a moose. I've seen a
I've
moose.
never seen a moose, but I don't agree with her.
Technically, you have seen a moose, but you were too young to remember it. Um, but yeah, I see meese, because that's plural for moose. Just kidding.
Moosin.
Did you know? I don't know if I told you. I think I told you guys this, but did you know that orcas are like the number one predator for moose?
Wait, like a predator, like eats the moose?
Yeah, like the moose is the prey of the orca.
I'm pretty sure it's because moose can run so fast they run over the water, right? And they try to catch fish, or like dive into the water. I've seen videos of moose running over the water like as fast and they were on the water. Like
I told Brayden before we started recording because he likes to sit all the way back there. I'm like, nobody's gonna be able to see you on the YouTube. So he's like, "Oh." But no, actually, moose are really good fucking swimmers, and they dive they swim off across channels and stuff in the ocean, ocean water. So I think this is like a lot in the Canadian region. Then so they'll cross channels and stuff, and they'll dive and they'll eat the vegetation that's down on the bottom. And orcas are like, dude, look at this fucking huge ass fucking thing. So they're like, all right, eat it.
another like ocean animal fact is whales. I don't know if it's technically called dying from old age, but they die from drowning, not old age. Because when they get too old, they can't swim up to breathe air anymore, and they slowly sink and drown. Number one, bro. Proness.
I feel like that'd be dying from old age. That's just your body giving up, just like a human would. So, um, what do you guys think about life? What do you think happens when we die?
I think, I think that your vision just goes black and you don't see anything. Or I believe that, like, with heaven and hell. But of course, I'm going to heaven, so.
I believe if you die like a good person, have a good relationship with Jesus, you'll have eternal life with Jesus. But if you separate yourself from Jesus, you'll like get tortured with like the devil for the rest of your life, So so as a person, right? If it's not really like doing good, right? Or doing bad. You just want to like you don't want to be bad and have a connection to Jesus. You want to be like do kind things, but not like too kind, like donate all your money to charity or something. But you need like a strong connection with Jesus, strong relationship, and then like You need to be at least decent. You don't want to be bad to be sent like to hell or something like that.
But you're bad.
I'm
You're
decent.
bad.
I'm
No,
decent.
you're not even decent.
No. But you just want a strong relationship with Jesus and you'll have eternal life. I don't think it's like heaven. I feel like it's just eternal life, you know? Kind of like that. But so like if you die, you have eternal life or you have life in hell, which is life tortured. You know? Like I know so much about this stuff. It keeps popping up like it's every single TikTok on my For You page, every single Instagram reel. I know so much right now. I'm cracked, bro.
So, so basically, Brayden hasn't committed any sins. Do you know what the seven deadly sins are, by the way?
Actually, I think it's lust. I know there's one for greed. I don't know what it's called.
It's greed.
Oh, okay. Um, I can't remember the rest.
Envy, gluttony, sloth, and pride. Those are only six. That's only
Wait,
six.
wait.
I'm missing the seventh.
Are sins like good or bad things?
Sins are a bad thing.
So like with a sin, right? If you commit one, most people, if they commit one and feel bad about it, they pray to like Jesus or God and asking for forgiveness, right? And like people who don't do that have like a don't have a relationship with God and get sent for torture for the rest of their life, you know, when they die.
All right, so I just looked it up so that I don't have it wrong. So, gluttony, an insatiable appetite for food and drink where one lives to eat instead of eating to live. So you're not hungry, but you're eating. That's gluttony, which I have done. So
I still
I've
have done
sinned.
that as well.
All right, so Brayden is a sinner.
I
So
have, but I have asked God, like Jesus, for forgiveness. I pray like every night for forgiveness just in case I've sinned that day. I ask for forgiveness. So like I try to build a strong relationship with like Jesus and God. Yeah.
so yeah, gluttony is the. Do you understand, Kendall? Okay. So lust is a strong desire for something even when one already has a significant amount of it. Lust can be for sexual acts, money, or power. So that kind of falls in line with the greed kind of thing, or the power, like fucking politicians, obviously. Um, it's like a bloodlust kind of thing. Like you just can't get enough of what you already have. You can't get enough of the money you already have. You can't get enough of the power you already have. You can't get enough of the sex that you already have. That's why you're cheating on your spouse constantly. Um, and then there's envy, wanting another person's traits, status, abilities, or rewards for oneself and wanting to deprive that person of those things. So the jealousy technically, yes. Um, but it like takes it even further. So sloth is a lack of desire to work or spiritual empathy. So you can't empathize with anybody and you're living off the state. You're on welfare. You're not doing anything. You're not working. You're not doing anything for yourself.
So kind of like depressed.
No, because depression is different than just not doing anything.
Would it
You know
technically
what I
be
mean?
like being selfish, right? So like
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, And then there's greed, also known as avarice. Greed is a deadly sin because it leads to other sins, which makes sense, like lust. Um, and then pride, the placing of oneself before God and the source of all other sins. So pride is when you think you're more important than anything else, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it just said, like you think you place yourself before God. Your God is not important to you. So that's being prideful. And then I can't believe I forgot this one when I was just going over them, and I only gave you guys six. But the seventh one is wrath, a strong feeling of hatred or resentment, along with a desire for vengeance.
So like killing
Yeah.
someone.
Or or like like so just like revenge in general, right? In that as well. So like if
Like
Seeking it
seeking
out.
it out, like you're working for it. Like sometimes you can get vengeance without trying. You know what I mean? Like karma. Karma is a big thing. Like it. I mean, you see it on. I'm sure you watch TikTok videos. You see stuff like that where somebody's doing something stupid and then they get fucked up for it. Like say somebody's being rude to somebody or flipping them off and then they walk into like a telephone pole or something like that, or a car trying to brake check another car and then it goes out of control because you know what I mean,
I
stuff like that.
think so I've read this thing, I don't know if it were like a Bible verse. I can't remember. But it's like something if like so say like someone does something bad to you, like flips you off or something worse, like something that you would want to take revenge for. It said something like don't take revenge, let God handle it, you know? So like karma could be God handling the revenge, you know? Yeah.
We all have a line of karma. It's like it's a type of currency with the spiritual realm, whether we um whether we receive that karma in this life or the next, we still get it. It's still like say you get away with murder, which doesn't really happen anymore. These especially these days with all the advancements in technology. But yeah, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen at all. But like so you get away with murder, but then your life is shit. You know, that's karma. Like you experience like it's like you have a black cloud of fucking bad luck for the rest of your life. Or maybe you go through life scot-free with no problems at all. Um and then you just get cancer out of nowhere, you know, or you the next life that you have, if reincarnation is a real thing, which sometimes I think it is, sometimes I don't. I've had, you know, guests on the show talking about reincarnation. They believe it's real, so um not saying that it's not, but you know, I've gone off and on. Like I flip flop on things that I believe just because there's no evidence of it. But a lot of people claim there's evidence because of things that they've experienced. So, um, yeah,
There's also good
it's
karma. My teacher actually tries to keep herself on the good side of karma. Like she goes out of her way to do stuff. Like she talked about the story where she found just a random wallet on the ground, and she like traveled like 4 states just to give it back. You know, so I think that would be something like good, gives you good karma. You know, so like for when you lose your and something important like your wallet, cash, someone could just return it to you. You know, so like good karma, not like bad karma is just gone for the rest of your life.
right, right, right. Um, yeah, there's definitely that. So like projecting positivity and love out into the world, things come back tenfold in that department. Um, but yeah, I 100% believe in karma for sure. When when I had a negative outlook on life and stuff like that. So like it's also a thing of like what you feed your mind is what your reality is. So perspective is reality. Whatever you're perceiving life to be is how it's going to be. So if you see it as, positive sunshine and rainbows, your life's going to be sunshine and rainbows, even though you still obviously you're still going to experience hardships and all that, but you're still having the time of your life in a way. You know what I'm saying? So, and then if you're thinking that it's negative, it's gonna be negative no matter what the situation is. You're always gonna have that outlook on life and be like, man, fucking this just life keeps shitting on me. And that's what leads people away from God is when they get stuck into those mindsets and stuff like that, you know? So Brayden, I will ask you this because I don't think we've had this conversation. But what is it that has brought you to Jesus? What was it that put you on this path? Because I've talked about it on the show. I've told people, other guests and listeners and the listeners about how all of a sudden you just started believing in God and you got the crosses around your neck and stuff like that. So what drew you into this path?
So one of the main reasons is, um, I think it was one night I was just sleeping. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was nothing crazy like Jesus was sitting at the end of my bed or something. It was just I woke up and I felt like doing something, it was like one of those feelings where like I I can't really explain it, but like I don't know. It like after that, my entire life like switched. Like so, at that moment, I was like, um, I don't know how to explain it, but like it felt the way I was going. It felt wrong, you know. So I felt like something had to be changed. So that night, I put in an earbud and fell asleep to the Bible. I don't know. I can't really fully remember what happened, but I know at the end I was listening to the Bible. I think it was God, maybe Jesus, like calling out to me. I'm not fully sure.
Keep the microphone close to your mouth.
Oh, yeah, sorry, but I'm not fully sure. So, yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm like shaking as I say some of this stuff. I feel so nervous.
That's because you're opening up. It's hard to open up. I had a hard time opening up, and you're telling a lot of people right now. You know what I mean? So it's nerve-wracking, and I can feel it. I can feel your energy over here. You know, yeah. I feel tears in my eyes, like my eyes want to cry, but I have nothing to cry about. You know what I mean? So like I can feel you. Um, Kendall, what do you think about God and stuff like that?
I think he's real. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say though. Like, I believe in him, but like, I don't pray or anything. But I do believe in him.
So have you guys experienced anything strange, otherworldly, paranormal, anything like that?
I can think of three right now. It was one time younger in one of Grandpa's old houses, and then two were recent after I started believing. in God. So, one of the most recent ones, so one of the most recent ones is, I was playing hide and seek out with one of my friends, and
Say it with your chest.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're like sinking and I can feel your nervousness. So just be boisterous, be confident, and, it's a story that you experienced it. Nobody can tell you that you didn't. It's your feelings around it. So just don't be hard on yourself or think that anybody's not going to believe you and be nervous about it. You know, take it by the reins, man. You got it.
so this recent time I was on my mom's, near my mom's house. I was playing hide and seek with one of my friends, so it was just two-way hide and seek, and the property is fairly big. Like, I'm pretty sure like a mile long, maybe less, like half a mile. I don't know. But I'm on one side and my friend's hiding on the other. But at the time, I didn't know it, and I see this shadow, like darker than the dark. You know, I'm using that term because I heard you say it. And I'm like, oh, that's gotta be my friend. I chase into it. It's about like 30 seconds, and I'm pretty far away from it, the buildings and stuff, like the lights. I'm like, all right, I'm too afraid to continue. He just can win. As I'm walking out of the forest, I call my friend, make sure, like, tell him if you're in the wood, well, tell him to get out of the woods. He goes, for perspective, I'm at building like 2, 3, and then on the other side, you got building 28, so like it goes around and stuff. I tell him to get out of the woods. I'm too afraid to go in. Right as I step out of the woods, he goes, I'm like over by building 28, which is other side of the property. I sprinted so fast. I was halfway to the other side of the property in like a minute, maybe 30 seconds. I I couldn't. It was I it was scary.
Was it coming towards you or something? Like, or was it just standing there?
So from what I saw, it was just this, like, hold on. I could like stand up and recreate what it was doing. But like he was like he's kinda just standing there like this.
No,
I can't really show.
nobody can see you, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah, it was just standing there like kinda like this. So I thought it was my friend. But it was not. And then when I was like, I said, I see you, and like ran in after it, like slowly turned on my flashlight. Before I turned on my flashlight, I saw it walk away. So, yeah, that's what made me think it was my friend. Cause like in hide and seek, you just sit there staring at the seeker when you see him, you know. But
Yeah.
most terrifying experience I've ever had in like my entire life, and I went on a loop-de-loop roller coaster.
Also, like I know like the near like the woods that you're talking about.
Most thing I've ever. And I went on a loop roller. Oh my God, go ahead, Kendall. Sorry.
Um, like near the woods that Brayden's talking about. Like I had a friend over, and we were walking in the woods. It wasn't nighttime. It was like morning. Well, not morning, but like it was light out. And like we were walking cause like where Brayden was saying, we were walking around like near those woods, and there was tent people there. So you could have seen a tent person.
No, there's just teepees made out of sticks. Not like...
No, there was tents. We saw the tents.
Oh, well,
I promise
so like
you.
in that area, there's teepees built. In that area, there's teepees built out of like huge like branches, and then I'm pretty sure she's referring to like a full-on tent. I'm pretty sure it's because there's homeless people around in that area. So what I saw it could have been like a homeless person, but at night, and like if something...
And being darker than the dark.
Yeah, now I'm like, how can someone be darker than the dark? Because when I used to play hide and seek, I would just lay down in the ground and no one would see me. But standing there with no light shining behind you is terrifying to look at.
Have you seen a ghost or anything, Kendall?
I think I have, but like nothing specific, but I have a story. So, like I don't really like horror movies, like I say I do, but I really don't. Like I get really scared, like about a lot of stuff. So I got at my friend's birthday party. She has like two rooms like across from each other, so like, and she had like quite a bit of people sleeping over. So it was like me, the birthday girl, and then three of my other friends. And then in the room across, there was three people sleeping in there. But one of the people who were in the room that I was in was supposed to be in the other room, but she wasn't comfortable like sleeping in that room with those people, so she was in our room. And we were laying down and we were all like, the people in the other room were sleeping, and we were all talking or whatever, and we heard noise outside of our door, and like I heard it, so I was like, did anybody else hear that? And they were like, no. And then we heard it again, and one of my friends were like, oh, Brooklyn. My friend's name was Brooklyn. They were like, Brooklyn, is it your doll? And I was like, what do you mean doll? And then like so it was like t- my friend and Brooklyn were sleeping on her bed together, and then there was a mattress that me and two of my friends are sleeping on, and I jumped onto like Brooklyn or whatever, and they were like, oh yeah, Brooklyn has a doll that can like walk and whatever. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, I believed that. And they were like, oh yeah, she does. And then somebody from the other room walked in and they like scared us or whatever. And I was like, I brought up like the doll thing again. And they were like, oh yeah, Brooklyn's tried to get rid of it so many times, but like it just keeps coming back. So I got really, really scared. Like pretty scared. And I was like, okay, we need to find this doll before I go back to bed because I cannot sleep knowing that there is a doll that could be walking around this house. And then, so Brooklyn was.
What would you do if you find the doll?
We would do something to it. Anyways.
Well, okay, do something.
Anyways, so we were like, Brooklyn was like, oh, I think I know where I put the doll. And we were like going through all of her stuff and like going through her closet and under the bed, and we couldn't find the doll. So I was getting so stressed because I was like, I cannot sleep without knowing where this doll is. So we were like looking everywhere. And then they were like, Kendall, we're not gonna find this doll. And I was like, okay, I might have cried a little bit, but but anyway, they were like, Kendall, we're not gonna find this doll. Just go to sleep. And I was like, I cannot sleep. But like, also how it was, I was next to the door, and then my friend was in the middle, and then my other friend was on the other side on the mattress. So I was like, I'm going to sleep until I know where this doll is. And then so they were like, we like oh, Brooklyn's mom got rid of it or whatever. And then, so I didn't believe them or whatever. But then eventually, we've been looking for this doll for like 2 hours. So they were like, Kendall, how about you just sleep on the inside, so you know that you won't get hurt or won't have this doll near you. And then I was like, no, because what if the doll comes through the window? Because there was a window right there. So I was like, I can't sleep there. So I was like, trying to sleep on the bed. But then both of my friends, Brooklyn and my other friend who were supposed to be sleeping on the bed, were like, no, we're sleeping on the bed. So they wouldn't let me go on the bed and join them. So I had to sleep in the middle of two of my friends. But like, anyways, but then I had to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom is downstairs, and we were upstairs. So I was like, oh, I had to go really bad. So I had to wake up one of my friends, and I was like, can you come to the bathroom with me? Because I was really scared. So, but I ended up waking up all my friends to go to the bathroom with me. So, but then I spilled a drink over, and so only one friend could go with me because everybody else had to pick it up. I don't know why all of them had to pick it up, but
They were scared of what was happening.
anyways, so I went downstairs with my one friend, and we went down there, and like I did my business, and then we went back upstairs, and they weren't letting us back in the room, and I was literally about to have a panic attack, because the doll could have popped up out of nowhere. Like, I was, like, banging on the door, I was like, let me in, and they weren't, because the drink was spilled right in front of the door, so, like, they had to sit in front of the door, and I was like, just let me in and then clean it up when we're in there. So, and they weren't letting us in. And then one of my friends was mad at me for some reason, so she was purposely standing in front of the door to not let me in. I don't know why she was doing that, but she was mad at me because I want to go to bed, I think. But anyways, so we were standing up there for like 10 minutes, an unnecessary amount of time. Eventually, we were able to get in, and then I just forgot about the doll thing, and I fell asleep. And then now they're telling me that was all fake, so.
Say that was an interesting story, first of all. Second of all, I'm terrified of dolls. So I don't mess with dolls. But I will say that we've got an hour in for the episode. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm getting pretty tired, and we gotta get up and go to the fair. So we can do another episode.
But they're short.
You want to tell them now? All right, we can do that. That's fine.
All right. So another short is the stuffed animals just standing up when I walk in my room. It was one night. It was bedtime, and like I have a bunch of stuffed animals I just can't get rid of. So one night I walk in my room, and one of the stuffed animals just up, standing, just up, staring right at the door. Like, so it was staring right at me. And it terrified me so much I ran back downstairs to my dad. Yeah. It was scary. It was scary. Yeah.
I've told that story a couple times on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Then for my other one, I was younger, probably around 8, I think, or maybe younger. It was before we met Bree. And we were at Grandpa's house. And when you're outside, it kind of looks like someone standing like in the curtain. So like there's a bump, but no one's actually there. So me, Lakota, Caden, and Logan were like trying to figure out what was happening. And we sent 2 people upstairs to look at the curtain, 2 people downstairs to see the bump. And when people went upstairs, there would be no bump. but when people went downstairs, there would be like a bump in the curtain, you know? It kind of looked like a ghost was sitting there, but like not actually, you know? It was scary. But that's my stories. Tune in next time for Ghost Hunters 3000.
I just wanted to say this, but like I wanted to say this back when we were like talking about school and stuff. But I think I'm dyslexic.
What?
You read backwards or you write backwards?
What does dyslexic mean again?
Oh my god.
Dyslexic is where you read things or you write things. I can't.
It's like
You write it or you write when you write stuff down. You write them backwards.
like you replace them like potato chip. You could write it chip potato. You know, something like that.
I don't know. I think I am though.
So dyslexia, previously known as word blindness, is a learning disability. That affects either reading or writing. Different people are affected to different degrees. Problem may include difficulties in spelling words, reading quickly, which I cannot fucking read quickly, writing words, sounding out words in the head, pronouncing words when reading aloud, and understanding what one reads. Often these difficulties are first noticed at school, and the difficulties are involuntary, and people with this disorder have a normal desire to learn. People with dyslexia have higher rates of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is ADHD, developmental language disorder, and difficulties with numbers. You are not dyslexic. You might be ADHD, possibly, but you're not dyslexic.
Okay.
She was talking about that too.
Well, I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know where I got that from. I just thought I was dyslexic because I'm in sped classes at school.
They're not sped class.
Yes, they are.
No,
I
they're
have to
not.
take an extra math class
No.
and an extra reading and writing class because my teachers think that I need it. I honestly think I'm super good at math. I don't need the math one anymore, but I like it because I don't have to take like tech ed or whatever. Because if I take tech ed, then I'm just gonna fail it because I can't do measurements.
It's not like it's just a class that. Oh wait, never mind. It's a class that helps you. So like, people who are smart still take that class.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I had some
No.
person with straight A's take that class.
Yeah, my friend with straight A's takes that class, and she's
I'm pretty sure there's a reading and math one. I'm pretty sure the reading is for like people who have struggled reading aloud or like struggling like writing like full paragraphs. The math one is probably for like well yeah, but like some part of math, you know, like mayonnaise.
Showing your work or something.
like I would because I can't get out of the reading and writing one because I just can't. But I can get out of the math one. But if I get out of the math one, they just put me in tech ed, and then tech ed is like woodwork, and I can't do measurements. So I just stay in the math one because I can actually do that. Yeah, I take gym.
I usually leave the gym to come home, so I don't know where you guys taking the gym to.
No, gym is just a class.
Like PE. PE.
I know, I'm just fucking with you. All right, guys. So, Brayden, one more time, let the good people know where they can find your video game bullshit.
If you want, if you like video games, you can go to.
If you like video games.
Oh, I'm not refresh. If you like video games, go to my YouTube channel. It's Raptor Rex. Raptor spelled like always. Rex is WRECKS. I also have a TikTok. Same thing, just add a 0 on the end. And then I have another YouTube channel with VR stuff. It's Boogie Mouse VR. BOOGIEMOUSE. And then I have this other TikTok, and I just post quotes like from the Bible, like Philippines 4:13, stuff like that. If you're interested, follow that. It's follower of God 35. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. Kendall has nothing that you can follow, and if you did find something that you could follow of hers, I will find you and I will use my skills to dispatch you. So,
He knows Kung Fu. I watched all
that's
5
true.
Kung Fu.
True story. True
Yes.
story. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda was how I learned. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Brayden and Kendall. Thank you to my kids, my children, for doing this with me. I appreciate you guys a lot, and I hope you get some good sleep tonight, because I'm definitely gonna. I'm fucking tired.
I'll probably fall asleep at 12. 1, 2, 3.
You better not. You better not do that. You better
I fell
fall
asleep
asleep
at
at
like
a decent hour.
Yeah, I fell asleep at 10 last night.
Yeah.
That's just the time I fall asleep now because of school.
Yeah. Well, you need to go to sleep earlier than 10 for school. But, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. If your catcher does not allow you to leave a review, please leave one at the website, which is where the weird ones are podcast.com. That's where you can get the merch. That's where you can get the hot sauce. That's where you can get the coffee. So
I got my own merch, bruv.
Shut up,
All right.
Brayden. But yes, Brayden has a t-shirt in the merch shop. He also has a sticker, so if you decide to purchase either one of those, the money goes directly to him. So yeah, it's a pretty good logo. I think Emily did a fantastic job with it.
Every single YouTube channel.
That's the only logo you've ever had.
Actually,
for any.
pretty different.
All right, shut up. Or I will come over there and make you shut up. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Again, like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that bullshit
Fortnite.
if you're interested. Yeah, and I'll catch you in the next one. But remember, question everything and stay weird.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. When the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day, make a wish.